was going to go easy on
Public
you, not to hurt your feelings.
policy.
I'm only going to get this.
Okay, so public policy, we have 7 steps. This is talking about how we make laws, essentially, in this country. And this can be at the state level, local level, it can be at the national level. I'm going to give you an example. My examples will be local level, okay? So we have this 7-step process of how a bill comes to be. And this isn't talking about how a bill goes through Congress. This is talking about how Congress or the government even gets to talking about that thing in the first place, like how that becomes an issue. I'm really distracted by looking at those shoes. I mean, I don't know why they're there really when I made this. I don't know. But God, those things are beautiful. Like, I can't even. Man, 13s, Grey Toes, they re-released them like a year and a half ago. And I wanted them and I debated it and then I'm like, nah, I won't wear them enough. I didn't get them. And now I'm just like lusting after them. They're so beautiful. Oh well, stupid. Okay, problem recognition. I'm focused. I'm back. Public policy. Public policy. All right, the first thing that has to happen is that people have to recognize that there is a problem. Okay, so recognize that there's some kind of issue that the government needs to focus their attention toward. My example is going to be local. We're going to go City of Pembroke Pines local. We're going to say that we need to have a traffic light at Pines Boulevard and 202nd. Okay, there's been accidents there, so we recognize the problem. The problem is there have been too many car accidents because there isn't a traffic light. Solution is to put a light there. So, city decides to annoy us all by putting another traffic light on Pines Boulevard. So that's recognizing the problem. That's all that's happened is somebody has said, I think there's a problem. So it could be a citizen, a resident, could say, we need a traffic light. Second step is to get that actually placed on the agenda of the government. Again, whether it's local, state, or federal, it doesn't matter. But agenda setting, we're talking about the list of issues that the government is going to address. Step 3 is that then we have to actually formulate the policy. So policy formulation is now the city, in this case, they are going to review the idea of putting a traffic light into place, and they're going to make the policy. So how much are they willing to spend on it? How much is it going to cost? When are they going to put it into effect? How are they going to build it? What companies are they going to use? They're going to formulate the policy, so make the policy. Fourth one is policy adoption. This is when they actually vote yes in favor of it. So again, for each of these, you should probably be writing down little notes to go with them because this is all I have for you. I don't have anything else written out on the slide, obviously. So policy adoption is when they vote yes in favor. They say, yes, we're going to adopt that policy. We are going to put a traffic light at Pines and 202nd. Step 5 is now they have to budget it. So they have to set aside money for it because obviously if they don't budget and then appropriate money for it, then it doesn't really matter at all anyway. So they then have to say, all right, here's the money for that. Step 6 is then they have to actually do it. So they have the money, they've adopted it, and now they have to hire the company and they will come out and put up the traffic light at that Pines Boulevard and 202nd intersection. The last step is once it's all been done, then they can evaluate whether or not it worked. So policy evaluation, this one takes place after the policy has been implemented, and you look back and you decide, was it good or not? Was it successful or not? All right, you have a more specific definition for agenda setting, so there it is. It is forming the list of issues to be addressed by the government. So that's agenda setting. So it doesn't mean that they're actually going to do it necessarily, but it means that they will address that issue, possibly. They'll consider it. All right, we have 3 terms left, I think. Pluralist theory, this is something that has been, again, in AP Gov. I think we've done this at least twice already. Many groups competing for power, no single group dominates. So again, this is just an idea of how policies are made. So this one is saying that there's interest groups and parties fighting for power, each trying to get policies that benefit their group. Now we have 2 terms here, and you need to contrast these next two, majoritarian and then the next one, client politics. Majoritarian politics is pretty simple. That word majority is there. People pay for it. Everybody pays for it, so we all pay for it through our tax dollars, but we all benefit from that policy as well. The picture there is of Social Security. Another good example would probably be defense. So there isn't, if you are an American paying taxes, you pay for our defense of this country, pay for the military, and you benefit as well. So everybody pays in a little bit and everybody benefits because the country is safe, secure, blah, blah, blah. So majoritarian politics, everybody pays for it, everybody benefits. On the other hand, we have something called client politics. And this is the idea that interest groups are here getting involved. Everybody pays for it, again, through tax dollars, but only a small group benefits from the policy. So when we think of interest groups, a lot of times they are also called single interest groups. And what that is implying is that they have one single specific issue that they care about, and that's it. So my example would be corn subsidies or subsidies to corn farmers. They have an interest group that represents them, and it is a powerful interest group. The thing is that compared to the overall budget of the government, which is like $3.9 trillion, their piece is relatively small. So as a whole to the public, we don't care about it that much, even though we're all paying for it. However, it benefits that small group immensely. They get a lot of money from the federal government, paying them to either grow or to not grow, in some cases corn. So they want to make sure that they keep getting that money. So the interest group is there for them, and this is a good example of client politics. Everybody pays for it, but only a small group benefits. For the last time, this has been a LaMoney Production.
One chance. 6 minutes. Something's wrong. I can feel it. It's just a feeling.